Do you want to have the ultimate control over your life? Welcome to Take Control with Whitney Wells, where we will explore all topics of life that we try and control, what this creates for you, and how to have successful relationships all while empowering yourself. Keep listening and let's have some fun. Hi everyone, and welcome to episode 24 of Take Control with Whitney Wells. I hope everyone had a great weekend, and I hope you are getting excited or preparing for your Thanksgiving, if that's something that you celebrate. We are celebrating it, but a lot different this year. Very small celebration just with my husband and kids, and yeah, we usually have a big group, but due to COVID and we want to stay safe, we want everyone else to stay safe, we canceled that. All right, so today we're going to talk about the thought, not good enough. When you think, I'm not good enough. When you're feeling that self-doubt. Now, have you ever thought that you aren't good enough? Personally, I know I have. Now, self-doubt is a big one, right? It is a tough one. It's kind of eats away at you. It festers, I like to say. It feels like the self-doubt creeps in, right? When it shows up, it creeps in and it grows and it grows. And it builds on itself. It builds on itself and it feels like it sometimes takes over. But self-doubt and feeling as though you aren't good enough does not mean anything has gone wrong. It's important to know this. Nothing is wrong with you if you feel that self-doubt, if you feel like you aren't good enough. Now, first, it is good to know that your brain is just trying to protect you and keep you safe. This is how your brain was designed. To keep you out of danger, to keep you safe, to keep you in that cave. Your brain is just doing its job. Now, even though it is normal, this feeling, your brain trying to keep you safe, even though that is normal, you do not have to go along for the ride. You can take control. Now, it's good to know that, right? Secondly, I want to point out that you are 100% worthy to begin with. From the very start. You are 100% worthy. You are 100% enough. Nothing will make you more or less worthy. You are complete. You are whole. And you are good enough always. Now for me, I have noticed I am a perfectionist at times. But being perfect is impossible. Humans are all perfectly imperfect. It's impossible to get to that place of perfection. So if I'm trying to be perfect, I'm essentially setting myself up for failure. And for this thought to creep in that I am not good enough when I don't reach that perfect place, right? Because I can't. It's impossible. Now, I have thought I am not good enough as it pertains to being a wife, a mother, a friend, really any important relationship in my life. This thought has creeped in at times. When I am striving to be that perfect person in that relationship, right? That perfect mom, that perfect wife, that perfect friend. I've thought I am not good enough as it pertains to creating my business. Reaching for those goals. But because of these steps I'm going to go over next, I'm now able to let this thought of I am not good enough gently go. And I can refocus on a useful, beneficial, productive thought that sets me up in the right direction that has me showing up how I want to show up, that has me experiencing the situation how I want to. So, when you are thinking you aren't good enough and feeling that self-doubt, here are some helpful steps that I want you to remember, that you can go back to, that you can use. So number 1, you have the power to recognize this is a feeling, this self-doubt is a feeling created by you and your own thoughts. This is where your power lies. Now, this is so important. Not being good enough is not a fact. It is a thought that you are choosing to think in that moment. So I'm going to repeat this because this is the foundation for everything. We need to grasp this in order to move forward, in order to move to step 2. Not being good enough is not a fact. It is a thought you are choosing to think in that moment. That is all. It's just a sentence that you are thinking. Now, to prove this, to prove that it's not a fact, I'm going to ask you, who determines when someone reaches this place of quote unquote good enough? Right? Who decides that? It is not like we can go see a specialist or a doctor who says, okay, yes, you are not good enough. Or, okay, yes, you have reached that land of good enough. It just doesn't exist. It's a thought in our brain. Being not good enough is a thought created by you. It is not a fact. This is the best news, because when it's a thought, you have the power. All right, on to number 2. Number 2, be compassionate with yourself. Love yourself through this. Don't beat yourself up for experiencing this emotion of self-doubt and for thinking this thought that you're not good enough. It's just a sentence in your brain, and it's just a vibration. That feeling is just a vibration in your body, and it's okay. Be compassionate with yourself. Beating yourself up has 0 upside. Number 3. Now, sometimes feeling our pain or a negative emotion is very beneficial. Sometimes processing that feeling through, allowing that feeling, is very beneficial. It's very useful. But with self-doubt, it does not have any upside to feel this emotion. So I suggest refraining from indulging in this emotion in order to get unstuck. Self-doubt is an emotion that does not provide any traction for you to move forwards or towards what you want. If you indulge in it, you'll most likely stay stuck, possibly quit moving towards your goal, maybe give up, not move in that direction that you want, not show up how you want. It is not useful. Number 4. Now is when you want to take control. You want to decide intentionally what experience and outcome you want to have for yourself, no matter what is occurring around you. This is within your power. And how do you do this? You want to practice intentional thoughts. You want to be ready with thoughts to think on purpose. Now, to help create these intentional thoughts and to explore a little further, ask yourself these questions. How are you wrong about you not being good enough? How are you enough? How are you exactly where you should be? How are the things that are happening around you here for you, here to benefit you? How is this all perfect? Now, I'm going to say it again because it is so powerful to put your brain to work in the direction of your choosing. This question of, in what ways are you wrong about not being good enough? Direct your brain in the direction that you want it to go. Not being good enough is a thought, and you can intentionally think that you are good enough. You are always good enough. You are always 100% worthy. So, to recap, you are always enough. You are 100% worthy, and you can't do anything to change that. So when you're thinking you are not good enough, and when you're feeling that self-doubt, first, recognize that this isn't a fact. This thought of not being good enough is not a fact. It is simply just a thought. It is simply just a phrase, a sentence in your brain. And you do not have to give in to it. You can take control. You can put yourself in that driver's seat, and you can decide intentionally. So you want to recognize that it's not a fact. Number 2, you want to be compassionate with yourself for thinking and feeling this self-doubt. Your brain is just doing its job. Number 3, you want to refrain from indulging in this emotion, in this self-doubt emotion. It is not useful to feel self-doubt. It will not benefit you. And number 4, take control. Decide intentionally what you want to think by asking yourself, how are you wrong about not being good enough? How are you enough? How are you exactly where you should be? How are the things that are happening around you here for you? How is this all perfect? In what ways are you wrong about not being good enough? You are amazing. You are perfectly imperfect, and you are 100% worthy. Now, if you want some free stuff to improve any relationship, I have 3 steps for a happy relationship that you can apply to your relationship today. I have 2 free video lessons to improve your relationship now as well. And if you're ready to get started, sign up for a free consultation, a 20-minute mini session with me, and you can see changes to your relationship right away. Now, if you want any of this stuff, head over to whitneywellscoaching.com, and you can grab any of these free things in the show notes. All right. Have a wonderful day, and you are amazing, 100% worthy, and always, always, always good enough. Thank you so much for listening. Bye. Do you want to explore these topics further? Are you ready to live the life that you want to live on purpose while controlling what you have control over? I would love to be your life coach. If you are interested, simply head over to whitneywellscoaching.com and book an appointment with me today. I can't wait to work with you.